Hello, everyone. We have Cedric Bertelli here with us, and he is one of the team members on Energy Evolution System, which is a collaborative team for you here to help heal and create wholeness and answer the questions to who am I, where am I going, and how do I serve and become the person I was born to be. And Cedric, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Hi, Amy. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be part of this team, this cohort. So my name is Cedric Bertelli. Currently, I live in California. I'm the founder of the Emotional Health Institute, which is now operating out of the US, France, and Japan. The Emotional Health Institute developed a body of work called Emotional Resolution, or EMRES. And what do? We support people to resolve debilitating emotional pattern. All those emotions that keep on coming back in our lives, such as anxiety, resentment, fear, all those emotions that are not actually congruent with our current life. They are just reaction based on past experiences, but that did not have a chance to be integrated. Our work with MRS is to resolve these debilitating emotional patterns.
Yeah, and I found you and actually have worked with you, and I found you through more than a handful of people who have worked with you and had immense success after just a few sessions. And I know for myself, it was such a beautiful process that we got to go through, and so quickly was I able to get through what I was working through, which was an anxiety, and I had a little bit of PTSD over a past experience. And so do you want to share a little bit about who you help and how you help them?
Yeah, absolutely. So who we help, it's a dense question. We don't really have a niche. I would say that we help pretty much everybody, as everybody has some kind of PTSD in a way. We help people with anxiety. We help people who feel that they're about to reach another level, and for some reason they can't. They're afraid to be seen. We are helping people who carry trauma, for lifelong, and so that toxify their relationships with themselves, with others, with their partners. We have people with phobias sometimes, anybody who realize and they carry emotions that toxify their life. And how do we do it? What we do in a way, it's very simple. It's not easy maybe, but it's simple. We understand today that all these emotions that keeps on coming back in our life are outdated predictions from the brain. And your body find itself, your body, your brain, your whole self, find itself in a situation when it recognizes one or several elements that was present during a past trauma, remembered or not, your body is instantly going to generate physical sensations. We call that interoception. Basically, when you find yourself in a situation when your body recognizes that was a danger for you, it is going to generate the physical sensations that you felt during a specific trauma. Those physical sensations let us know that we're feeling an emotion. Those physical sensations are outdated prediction. What we do as human beings is that when we feel an emotion, we control. Either way, we shut it down. We control how we feel by breathing, by thinking, etc. Or we try to control what we think created the emotion. And this maintains the emotional loop. If one can be with the physical sensations held by an emotion, felt during an emotion, without controlling them whatsoever, while being in a safe environment, the sensorial prediction is going to play out until the end in a matter of about 2 to 90 seconds. Now, if the person or the therapist do not control anything, at the end of the prediction, the body is expected to be hit by some kind of danger during a session. At the end of the prediction, we're safe and sound. From that very instant, the prediction is updated once and for all. What used to be felt as a danger, as a stimulus, is now a non-event. And the thing with emotions and human beings is that we build emotion upon emotion. That means that within 1 minute, 2 minutes, we can feel 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 emotions. Human beings are complex. So during a session, what we do during an MRS session is we're going to start by something that is, quote unquote, in your face, an emotion that you realize you have. And from that emotion, we're going to dive and feel all those tensions that come together with an emotion. Basically, we're going to resolve a lot of emotions in one session. All those emotions that do not have a name, but are felt as tension and creating most of the dynamics of our lives.
I love that. I love that too, because in my work with you, I remember, and I'm very much a strong believer of not attaching a story or a meaning to these emotions. And of course, they come with a story and some kind of a experience. But when we just feel them and really feel them deeply and embody them, then they're allowed to then be accepted, acknowledged, and can pass through the body.
Absolutely.
And once they pass through the body, yeah.
That's key. That's so key what you say. The main problem is the character that we create, right? The attachment, as you just said, to the emotion we feel. Often during a session, I will tell my clients, on this chair, you're nothing. You're nothing and you're no one. You're just a chaos of sensations. Immerse yourself in the chaos within your flesh. And because you have to detach, yes, sure, we all have an history. Sure, we all had trauma, but it's irrelevant. When we want to heal, we have to go into the chaos held within the flesh and resolve it that way.
And I would also speak to and say that because you're feeling such immense emotions all at once, and whatever, if these emotions were built up on each other or whatever the case may be, that whole fell swoop of emotions that you have felt, maybe those are stored from, years and years and years and years and years ago, but because they're the same vibrational frequency, that once they're passed through the system, they're all gone.
Absolutely. That's exactly it. It's a reset. It's like, it's a, how in acupuncture, you do the needle and the flesh is like going around the needle. It's the same thing. You get in and your flesh, the sensation takes you to a bit like, sometimes I tell my clients, it's the reverse of the Big Bang. It's a big crunch. Your flesh, your sensation takes you to a moment of reset. It takes a second and then back and you're different. But there is a need for de-identifying from the persona, from the character, from what Henry Bergson, the philosopher, called the crust, right? Go to the cosmos. We enter through the flesh. We enter through a situation, through a fear, and with the intensity of our attention, we're going to allow the brain to resolve things that, as you said, might come from 10 years ago, prenatal, birth, maybe transgenerational. In a way, it's irrelevant. It's all here, in that body, here. That's the crossroad of many things. And everything's accessible right there. And something that you said as well, we never talk about trauma in MRS. We're never going to talk about, you might come to see us for PTSD, complex PTSD. We're not going to talk about the trauma because everything is held right now in the body.
I love that. Can you give us an example of one or two maybe miracle stories?
The one that sound the most miraculous are often the simplest, right? Like, for example, the cello player who cannot perform and one session and the next day literally is on stage and like feeling that's impressive because it's such a black and white kind of thing. So there's plenty of stage fright and performance anxiety, in sport, sexual anxiety as well. People who they have everything they need to make more money or to have more exposure, and always something like preventing them to do that. They know how to do it, they don't do it. And often what it is, it's a secret. They've been holding a secret, something that they subconsciously resisting when we're about to be exposed. The brain takes it as people are going to see everything about me. And then it literally blocks us to take the next step. Because subconsciously, it's like, okay, they're going to see, I don't know, for a man that I'm watching porn, for somebody else that I've been abused when I was a child. And there's a lot of shame and guilt about that. And some of those secrets are sometimes forgotten because they're not relevant anymore because we're adults. So we do a lot of work on secrets that have been held as well. It's amazing the drastic change. Once the guilt or the shame of the pain is resolved, then the action that need to be taken are taken.
I love that. Thank you. And what I love about that too is, especially in the energy evolution system, is because once these things are cleared, then somebody can go on and then they can discover so much more and build on a healthy, strong, solid foundation.
Absolutely.
And so would you say that you help do any visioning with a client for their future?
I actually don't. That's going to be somebody else from the team. My job, I would say, is it's an image, of course, but you see how a caterpillar become a butterfly, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't worry about the butterfly. My job is to create a cocoon. and to allow the person to be in the cocoon so that the organic soup can happen, the butterfly will come out. It's not my problem. My main job is to help the client accept what is happening in them and to let them accepting what's happening doesn't mean that we like it, but accepting, resolving so that the client can adapt and act. So my job is to put them in their cocoon, and sometimes it's a bit uncomfortable, but if you don't accept what's happening, if you don't accept all of it, then how can you grow? How can you envision who you are? A lot of people that I see, and a lot of the vision they have is obsolete. It's something they had when they were younger. It's a fantasy. It's a hope. It doesn't fit with who they are now. My job is to put them in their cocoon, pop, let the magic soup happen, and then whatever happens, happens.
I love that. And I feel it resonates with me so much in terms of you being a healer and helping set the stage for that strong foundation. And you may not call yourself a healer, but like in our team, it's so important to have that solid foundation to build everything else that someone's purpose is being founded on. And one of the things that I notice in a lot of people these days is that they're just continuing to act on their sympathetic nervous system and moving so fast past all of the feelings and sensations. And so they're showing these patterns and themes are continuously showing up for them. And so that they can't actually grasp onto the thing that they're desiring, which is the knowledge and the wisdom of who they really are, because they're still being pulled back to this gets to get healed. And so I just want to say thank you so much for being on our team. I really can't wait for the world to see you and for this team to be built together to help so many. Well, do you have any closing thoughts?
I'm just excited. Before the talk, we talk about collaborating and how it is important and how it's lacking. You know, I think that 75%, of course it's a guess, but 75% of the clients that come to see me at the root of it is because they lost trust in their fellow human beings. And they feel isolated. They feel like no one has their back, and that they cannot trust anybody, even from their close community. And it's extremely debilitating and hurtful for human beings. So I am glad to be part of this team and to collaborate with other wonderful people. And I hope that we're going to do some amazing work. It's not a hope.
Yeah. Well, I know that you do, as I've worked with you. And like I said before, you've worked with so many. I know that you do amazing work, and I know that all together we're going to do amazing work. And thank you so much for bringing that last piece in, because as we were talking, and I'll just be totally transparent, it has been a challenge for myself to see the world be in a competition and in this way where collaboration doesn't seem to be the fit, and a lot of disconnection. And I think it's so important for us to work together as a team and build teams around people to support in all the facets that they're in life. And so you're such a great addition to this team, and I'm so grateful.
Thank you very much.